Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to Zoomland.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Ian Forth, Senior Group Leader, and I have great pleasure of introducing this evening's conference call with my business partner, Christine Lloyd. Good evening, Christine.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
We're delighted to have 5 people with us this evening who have listened, learned, and taken action, creating fantastic momentum in their individual businesses. You're also going to hear how they are making the most of the fabulous new energy tariff, the Quip, and of course the £10 vouchers available to new team members. So let's get on. This evening I'd like to introduce Group Leader Claire McCroy. Hi Claire, give us a wave. Hi Claire. Senior Team Leaders Dean and Christine Fox. Hi, give us a wave. And finally, and soon to be Team Leader, Neil and Pamela Swainson.
Hi.
Fantastic. So, Christine.
So I think it would be brilliant to start with you, Pamela and Neil. I know that you've made an amazing time since Quip and the energy tariff was launched. So would you just tell us a little bit about your journey since December?
Yeah, we sort of decided that in the new year we were going to have a push. Then Quip came out, so that really gave us the launch pad really to really give it a good go. So we needed to re-engage, we needed to refresh our skills and improve our knowledge to benefit that announcement. So basically, we got to and we set to do that really.
Fantastic. So setting to, that sounds brilliant. Tell us what you did.
We really went at it from loads of different angles. We attended events, which are always brilliant. Meeting some of the most successful people in the business, and you can take inspiration from their stories. We organised a home business launch. We also organised our own WAM event. We went back to our No For Now list as well. We did some leaflet droppings, and we also joined a local recruitment program, which was really beneficial. Just a small group of us getting together and sharing ideas and learning from each other and spurring each other on, which was really good for us.
Fantastic. So you've really got yourselves involved since the start of the year and all these announcements were made. How's that actually helped you? Well, basically, we've been able to sort of like focus on our goal, which was to get to team leader. We set a time scale of Express Day, which, touch wood, we're pretty close to now. So, you know, we should hopefully make that quite comfortably. And we've actually now decided that we can get to that one. We'll look to try and get 50 plus customers as well by Express Day. So we're constantly looking at those goals sort of thing. So our business launch was really, you know, was a real new thing for us. Really, it was totally out of our comfort zone, but it's made us realise that that's another way of looking at things. Yeah. The Quip plan for us, we were quite poor at getting distributors. So whilst Quip was good for us, it's been really attractive for other people. To sign up as distributors, and Pam's got a couple of good examples of what distributors have signed up.
Yes, it's really benefited us, and if we look at the spectrum, our last 2 distributors, one is a 73-year-old pensioner who we signed up as a customer in December and saved her a lot of money in relation to her energy tariff. She is then signed up as a distributor, is now qualified, and is helping her friends and family to get signed up. They've all come on board with her. We're able to save them an amazing amount of money with the energy tariff as well. And another distributor is 18 years of age and an apprentice, and soon to be hopefully qualified as well. The money's making a huge impact for these people. Particularly Marcia, the pensioner, she helped some of her friends, and they've just been purchasing new Kindles. Marcia couldn't afford that, but on the back of getting these customers signed up, she's now treated herself to her own Kindle, and that's massive for her, and it's been lovely to be part of that journey with her. So that's the impact of Quip, how it's changing people's lives.
Fantastic. And just to say, you were talking about the savings that are made. We all know how much the savings can be made as the package, but in terms of the actual energy tariff now, how is that affecting, the quotes that you're giving out and the numbers?
Well, at the moment, we're looking at something between £400 and £600 a year, often to save per year for each customer, which is just massive.
Yeah.
And on top of the savings we're making on the broadband and phone, it's becoming really quite an easy decision for people to say yes, we'd like to give it a go.
Fantastic. So what I've picked up from there is that you've been to the events, but then you've taken that opportunity. And I think actually, Neil, you heard something at one of the events that really got you going from, I know your background, both of your backgrounds in the police, and a certain policeman said something at one of the events, or ex-policeman, that really got you going. What was that?
Yeah, we went to the kick-off event at Livingston, and Jimmy Chapman spoke, and he basically said, respect this business, said how much the turnover was and what it was, that it was such a big business. And it really hit a note with me, because basically, I think up until then, I hadn't realised what we had really, and we should be proud of what we got and to really promote it. And that's made a massive difference to me now. That's the company that I'm representing, I'm part of. It's a massive difference. And the fact the way he said it, respect it, he's absolutely right. We should respect it.
Wow, fantastic. So powerful. So what I'd like to do now is move on to Claire. And we had a good time at training last week, Claire, training together in Newcastle. And you blew me away with some of the changes that you've made since the announcement of Quip, and actually how the money from that has made you redesign the next few months of what you've decided to do. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So, like most people in this business, Ian, I had some goals.
Yeah.
I had them, sort of written down, and I knew those goals. But I was probably a late starter in January. I didn't sign up my first Quip customer until the 22nd.
Okay.
But in the next 10 days, I signed up another 4. So I ended up with 5 Quip customers, which is an extra £1,200. So from very little work, an extra £1,200. And I don't think I'm particularly money orientated, but on the 31st of January, I met somebody in Starbucks who I know, and we sat down. I said, what are you doing? He said, well, I meet in here every night with my wife after work, and we review our goals. And I went, oh, wow. So my goals were really flimsy, nebulous things, whereas he was defining what he was even doing every single day. And I thought, I went home that night after signing up 2 Quip customers, and I sat down and recycled an old diary of one of my daughters, and it's got 4 sections. So I've got my personal goals, I've got family goals, I've got business goals, and I've got general goals as well in here. And I look at them morning and evening, and any spare time I've got, and I review them, change them, tick them off. Isn't that great when you can tick them off? Yeah. And they are happening. It's been a bit revolutionary, actually, this whole thing about goals for me.
Okay. So just expand on that a little bit. Revolutionary, what do you mean by that?
Okay, well, I realised, Ian, that if I signed up 20 Quip customers before Express Day, then we would qualify for Orlando.
Oh, wow. Okay, 20.
I thought, 20. Yeah. I thought, okay, Claire, you can do it. Let's just go out and do it. So at the moment, we've got 7 customers so far this month.
Yeah.
And I've got lots more that are, sort of coming on board. But it's actually, when I worked out the income from that, was really powerful. The income, I've had 3 days now since we started doing this in January, that I've had signed up 2 Quip customers on 3 separate days, so earned £480 on, no, it's not 480, is it £440, sorry, on each of those days.
Wow.
Now, in lecturing, having lectured for many years now, there's not one single day where I've earned that much money from one day's work.
Okay. And tell me, Claire, how has the new energy tariff, how has that helped with that? Because you've set this goal of 20, which is a great goal to have. How are you going to use this energy tariff? Is that helping you at all?
Well, actually, it's interesting you should say that, Ian. Brian just said this week when I came in and signed up another 5 service customer, and he said, it's getting easier, isn't it? And I've thought about that quite a lot, really, because it's no different than it was, sort of in January, but definitely the tools are there. Okay, what we do is so exceptionally phenomenal for our customers, and the energy tariff is making a real difference. I've just looked over 3 customers I signed up recently, and the savings between them was over £1,000. These are regular people with ordinary consumptions, and then the savings, as Neil said, from the broadband and mobile as well, is topping, and the light bulbs is topping over £1,000 savings and then the cashback card on top. So the savings are huge. The largest savings, I think, have been over £2,000 for one household so far, for these customers. So
that's £160 a month.
It's huge. Yeah. Well, they've signed up as
£70 a month. Wow. And they signed up as IDs as well as partners. Wow, fantastic. So that sounds really exciting, Christine. I know you want to explore that in a little bit more detail.
Well, it does, because when we were talking earlier as well, Claire, you were telling me that not only did you save one particular person the savings, but that led to other things. So share that a little bit with us.
Yeah. So I don't have a secret book of people who are just dying to become customers. I just do the same as everyone else, okay? But on the appointment, you just follow the system. So you run through, everything on the appointment. And then just, I say before I go, just 2 things before I go. And the first thing is I get my referrals book out and I say, you saw in the Terry video that we don't advertise. And we always ask for 3 referrals. Who would you like to refer to me? And then I don't say anything more, and I just take down the details. Then I tell them about the voucher scheme, and as a way of saying thank you. And this led recently, probably 3 weeks ago, I signed up a quick customer, and she gave me 3 names, and I've signed up her 2 daughters since then. So, one of them was just Monday gone. So it is quite amazing that if you're able to, the speed of this, is quite rapid, really. Of being able to go and see somebody, make them, sort of the savings show, they become a customer, and then through referrals, they then actually give you more people to go and see. It is quite fascinating. And then the last thing is obviously to show them the business opportunity. So then they've got a customer account number and they can join for half price.
So from what you're saying there, that's quite amazing. And I know when we talked, you were saying that when a student is ready to teach your peers, and it sounds to me as though all of this really kind of stemmed from a chance meeting.
Yes.
It's absolutely brilliant, and it's completely got you back on track, and you're really using the Quip, you're using the energy tariff, you're using everything that this company is offering to really drive you forward and focus you on Orlando, which is absolutely amazing. So thanks for that, Claire. And finally, would like to move now to you, Christine and Dean. You're striving, I know, for group leader. So tell us a little bit about that decision.
So we kind of, back end of last year and over the Christmas period, we kind of sat down, set our goals, as Claire was talking about earlier, for this year. That was obviously top of our list. So we kind of said, right, we're setting it in stone. It's happening this year. We
make a clear decision.
And we felt that it was almost as if the planets were aligning. So we had the £10 vouchers, we had the reduction in the energy, the new energy tariff, and then lo and behold, right at the beginning of January, ahead of the new year, we had Quip. So we kind of had. It was really as if all the planets were aligning. We had all the tools we needed. What we were looking for was a strategy to try and put all that together. And a bit like Neil and Pam had said earlier, we decided, well, there's lots of success in the network with business launches. We'll use that as a strategy to try and develop the momentum we need to get to group leader. So it was all based around that initial decision of, we want to get there this year. What can we use? What the tools are available to us, and how can we generate the most momentum from it?
Fantastic. And how have you used those, and used that decision now? How have you put that into practice?
We started right at the beginning of the year. What we decided was the first thing we would do was hold our own business launch.
Okay.
So first week in January, we planned to have our own, didn't we?
Yeah. And from that, we invited 10. When we lost one, we actually texted or phoned another one. So when you lose one, just do another one. And then from that came 6, obviously turned up. And out of that, we got 2 IDs signed up and 3 customers.
Oh, wow.
And one of them actually signed up there and there to be obviously an ID.
So I think the momentum that, what we saw that night was not only the momentum that could come from it, but the excitement in the room.
That's right.
Not just from Quip when we started to talk about it, because I think that it bridged a gap. When you talk to people before, we're always talking about the longer term strategy for building residual income, which is, we all know is fantastic, but lots of people are looking for what can I earn now.
And to be fair, we always do them very relaxed. So we don't do them really formal, do we? So it's kind of sitting down and with them at the same time. So it does work really well. And like I say, the momentum from it, it's amazing. Just the room, once we've done the presentation, just watching people talk about it around the room, it is incredible.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And it is huge for team building, because I think Pamela said earlier on that the figures we're talking about in terms of income are life-changing for people. So it's not just what we can earn, it's what other people can earn when they look at the business for the first time.
Yes. Okay, Christine, I know earlier on you were talking, and I'm keen to investigate and dig a little bit deeper into the numbers with regards to this amazing new energy tariff. And you were talking about a customer who just sort of couldn't stop talking to you until you'd actually signed them up. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it was we actually did one of our new ID appointments, and we went to do her business launch for last Friday. And she did really well. She had 10, 11 people there. Okay. And we just went in because we were kind of a bit late. But it was perfect because we walked in, everybody was, introducing each other, and we were introducing ourselves. We kind of, again, sat down, and we just basically just went into talking about our stories, why we did the business, obviously why the new ID had done, obviously her business launch and why she was doing it and why she was doing the business. It was very, very relaxed. Obviously we did the presentation together, and it was finished, and the room again, we just sat and relaxed, and I was talking to a lady next to me, and she just said, I kept asking her, because I felt like we'd done our presentation and it was kind of then relaxed, and I was asking her where she was from and what she did for a living, and she said, well, can I sign up tonight? And I went, oh, she can. She said, no, I'm really interested. Can we do it now? And I went, yeah, fine. And we did it straight away there. So
what did the numbers look like, Christine, in terms of that tariff when you were working that through for her?
For her? Oh,
yeah, well, the savings.
Yeah, so the energy, we did what she'd originally said when she said, can I do it now?
She wanted to just do the energy.
Do energy only.
Yeah.
As a customer. So we showed her what those figures were like. And obviously the system, as we know now, it gives you, if you just do energy only, it gives you, well, this is what it would be if you took become a gold customer, and if you become a double gold customer. Yeah. So we show the comparison. But what was really impressive, I think, was that just on the value tariff, the energy tariff only, her savings were just over £250 a year.
Wow.
So just on that service. But what was even more impressive was when we went to the LED, the Daffy Gold tariff, it was in excess of £650. And there's a term that we use, we often say to people, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. But she said, it is a no-brainer. But you know what was fascinating, to be honest, Ian? You've got other people listening to her signing up.
Yeah.
There was maybe only like 3 in the living room, and a few had obviously wandered into the kitchen.
Yeah.
But you've got them listening. So that's when they said, well, when can we do our appointments then? So it does create...
Not only did you sign up the lady there, you got some other appointments. And this is all in the team launch for a new
ID.
So can I ask, is that ID qualified now?
Yes, she's qualified. She's about to sign up her first distributor this weekend that came from that launch as well.
Wow.
So yeah, from a momentum
So
perspective,
that's only took
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
It should have been 2 weeks.
Gee. Christine.
I know. It's unreal.
I think there's been some brilliant stories have come out tonight, and I've been taking some notes, and I think for me there's a common thread here. I think what I'm hearing is that everything that the company's offered us now, we've got the Quip, we've got this amazing energy tariff, the business launches have really come to the forefront of what we're doing. We've got the £10 vouchers as well. But actually the big thing for me is two things. Each and every one of you has made a decision to get to the next level. And I think that's the first part of it, isn't it? It's making that decision. And for you all, it was a different decision. But having done that, you've then all done something to take action. And I think it doesn't actually matter how good Quip is, how good the energy tariff is, or anything else. If we don't make the decision and we don't take the action, it's just going to sit in the cupboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I want to really thank you for that, because that's a really powerful message. And just to kind of wrap the call up, I would be saying to people that are listening and watching to this, that now is the time. It is a game changer, and that can sometimes be used quite lightly, but it is a game changer. Now is the time. So I would suggest that we just make it our time and really just take that action and make it happen. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Don't let it fall through your fingers.
Yeah. I think we've got about 40 seconds left of this call. So why don't we just go around the three of you and give us your top tips? What would they be? So back to Pamela and Neil, what would your top tip be?
Very simple. Show.
Show. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Love that one.
Brilliant.
And Claire, what would yours be?
Set goals that draw you. So
Set
draw you.
goals that
Set
draw
goals that
you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Claire. And finally, last but not least, Christine and Dean, what would your top tip be?
Set a date for launches with your new IDs.
Set a date for launches for the new IDs. Well, there you have it. You've got some 3 top tips there to finish with. And Christine and I now would like to thank everybody who's been on the call. Thank everybody who's come on to Zoomland. And we'll say good night and see you at Express Day. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.